Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Ablas 2. Give people a bit of a backstory. It's about 7:30 here in Wrocław, Poland. We've rushed from the stadium where your man Daniel and Oleksandr are going to have their fight on August 26th. We thought we were missing the flight, and now we're chilling in VIP with a slightly delayed flight. So life's good at the moment, Don.
Yes, most definitely. It could be a setup. Have you ever looked at it that way? I look at things. I'm a very suspicious guy. This is too good. You know, I've never had this in my whole life, where we got whisked through VIP, security checks, been there, but you know we're being treated like celebrities here. But I'm not buying it. It could be a trick.
Well, you think Alex Krasik's actually keeping us here for the night?
Could be. Like I said, I'm always vigilant. So, but we're enjoying it. You know, it's good. But I'm still got my guard up.
As you should. But the hospitality's been great so far today.
Yeah.
And if the fight week's like that, you guys will have no issues. Don, just talk to me firstly about how this link-up came. People were surprised because there wasn't really any reports or rumours about Daniel leaving his previous trainer. But you're no stranger to heavyweight boxing. You're a heavyweight expert. So how did this link-up with that man there, Daniel, come about?
Well, like you said, you know, it came as a surprise, and to me, it also came as a surprise because I certainly wasn't expecting it. A fighter of that caliber in the name of Daniel Dubois. Like I said, he just came out of the blue, and I received it with open arms. Why not? Because you know, when you weren't expecting or looking for something and it comes to you, something good, then I'm blessed. I feel blessed.
How much of this man have you watched so far?
Well, it's not just now. I actually trained a guy to try and fight Daniel, a heavyweight in the name of Tom Little.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I trained him to fight Daniel Dubois, and that's the first encounter I came. But Daniel, obviously, ever since then, it's my duty to monitor every heavyweight on the scene, especially the British scene. I've known, obviously, what Daniel can do from a long time. And then, like I said, there was no lead up. There was no. Normally, you get wind that somebody's looking for a new trainer or there's a phone. Nothing. It's just within 48 hours of me getting a phone call, and it materialized, and here we are.
As I said, you're a heavyweight expert. You've seen all of them sort of domestically. You've been working on obviously the world stage as well. What sort of struck out to you in terms of Daniel's qualities compared to perhaps other heavyweights? What
has always struck out, even when I was studying Daniel as an opposition coach, his physicality, his athleticism, and obviously now I'm working with him. There's more to him than the athleticism and the power. The guy's an astute student of the sport. He knows the history of boxing. So we'll be having a conversation, and he'll come out with something that happened in the 50s in boxing heavyweight. I said, how do you know that? He'll just smile, you know. So he's an astute student of the sport, and he's got a really good ability to, as a student, to listen and learn. He wants to learn, and that's a massive asset to have in any fighter. A fighter who's willing to learn.
Of course, Don, there are a lot of casual boxing fans, and when people talk about maybe Daniel Dubois on the streets, and when people are out, they talk about his power, his brute force, etc. But how much more is in the arsenal of Daniel Dubois in terms of his gas tank, his boxing ability, his IQ? Could you just elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, the IQ, I go with the IQ. Like I said, a student who's willing to learn. He also has an incredible understanding of what he's doing. And he's let's not mix it up or get it confused. This young man, he brings a lot to the table. Normally, I don't get fighters of this caliber. He's well schooled. His fundamentals are all there. His foot placement, everything's there. Very well schooled. His fundamentals. Normally, I have to do a total rework. With him, he came with the foundation. Just like if you're building a building and you already have the foundation, then it's easier to put the bricks on top, if you know what I mean. So all I've had to do is recognize that the foundations are there. Don't change it. If it's not broken, don't change them. I'm merely putting bricks that fit to that foundation. So it's been the progression has been quite rapid because of that. Also, with the experience I have as a coach, to recognize, don't break the things he brought. He brought a lot, and I feel blessed. I feel honored, and this is an opportunity from God. You know, in the sense, I mean, the whole thing happened within 48 hours of us getting together. We had the conversation with his father, and then within 48 hours we were working together, and it's like, yeah. And then look at that, the way things happen. Then he's fighting the biggest fight of his career.
Absolutely, he is. How hard does he punch?
Very hard. Like I said, we're not going to focus on that. He hits very, very hard. It's well documented, well noted. But there are other things than power that we need to, and will put into his makeup.
We saw, obviously, your former charge in Derek Chisora give a very good account of himself against Oleksandr Usyk, especially early on. Even Usyk's heavyweight debut against Witherspoon, who was a massive underdog, that was a bit of a test for Oleksandr. Obviously, he won a lot of the rounds against Anthony Joshua in their two fights. Where do you think the current crop of heavyweights who fought him so far, Oleksandr Usyk, where have they been going wrong, Don?
Well, again, I'm not at liberty to. It would be wrong of me to pour my heart out to you, because we're, as you know, heavily in camp. I'll hold that. You will see on the night what we've been doing in the last. We've been at it for 10 weeks now. Daniel's been working with myself for 10 weeks. We have another 7 weeks of work, and you will see what we've been doing on the 26th of August.
What do you think about when people just simply say he's got to put it on him, impose himself?
It's easier said than done. Yeah, of course. That is one of the things we have to do, but it has to be done technically. It's easy to say put it on him. How? There is an approach. There's a lead up. It's like a plane that takes off. Yeah. There's a run up to that takeoff. You can't just take off. So basically, there's a procedure to putting it on him. So that's what we're doing at the moment. How to negate into putting it on him.
That game plan comes off on the night. He executes everything. He listens to you in the corner. You believe Daniel Dubois can knock out Oleksandr Usyk?
That's without a shadow of a doubt. That's the aim, and that is what's going to happen. It's loosely said. I'm saying it to you, to the audience. It's written. What's already written by God cannot be tampered with any man.
Don, I asked Daniel this question. You probably heard it when I interviewed him about people's concerns that this is his first fight with you and he's going into the biggest fight of his career. So for those British fans who are slightly concerned about that, how would you sort of calm their nerves down about that?
Yeah, have faith, have faith. Although I haven't trained a world champion, okay, there are reasons for that. The knowledge and the experience that I bring to the table, fused with what Daniel already brings to the table, those two combinations, my experience of understanding heavyweights and working with heavyweights, and what he already brings to the table, when you fuse those two elements together, and the belief, okay, and the faith, and the destiny is there, yeah. So if any, I share their concerns, the fans. They can rest assured that, trust me, we are going to be victorious on the 26th.
Did you have a conversation with Daniel's promoter, Frank Warren, before this link-up came about?
Type of, yeah.
I mean, obviously he's going to back his boy, but even off camera, speaking to him, he's very confident.
Most definitely. Frank has called me up and said, you're going to win this fight. I said, Frank, you're just confirming our beliefs, yeah.
Obviously, Daniel had multiple face-offs with Oleksandr here in Poland today. Did you take anything away from that, Don?
Face-offs, I'm not a fan of them because I've seen people look like, they're menacing, and then on Fight Now, you don't see any of that. I can read body languages, and I know what I read, and I'll keep that to myself. But like I said, face-offs, You can look as mean as you want to look. Doesn't really mean anything.
How do you assess Oleksandr Usyk as a fighter?
Oh, come on, man. This guy's a masterful, majestic boxer. I mean, how can I not? You have to acknowledge your opposition and what he does, recognize what he does. Yeah, he's one of the best, and he's proved he's unbeaten as a cruiserweight. Now he's trying to do it in the heavyweight division, So we're very confident. Daniel's very confident. The team, we're very, very confident of securing a victory and making history.
As I said, we've been to the stadium today. I asked Daniel this about going into the Lions Den. There'll be 40,000 odd Ukrainian fans there cheering on Usyk. But Daniel said, if I'm going to win a world title like that, I'd prefer it be the underdog, away corner. Does it add a little bit to that? Does that give you a bit of a lift?
Most definitely. Pressure-wise, the pressure really is on Usyk. The pressure that is on us is that we have to go and win. But the whole pressure is on Usyk. And can I also say to you, a bit of an observation, the last 3 times those belts have changed hands, right? Those unification belts. Tyson Fury went to Germany to take them off Vladimir Klitschko, right?
Yes.
That was away. He was the away fighter.
Yeah.
Oleksandr Usyk came to England to take them off Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's whoever's won those fights and taken those belts in the last 2 times they've changed hands, it's been on a foreign soil. And we're about to do it as a 3rd time to come on a foreign soil, not the WBC belt, all the other 3 belts. They've all exchanged hands on foreign soil.
That is correct, and obviously you guys are hoping it's going to be a hat-trick on August 26th.
I believe so. I really, truly believe so. I'm old enough, wise enough to be able to believe that. Not just believing it's not enough. We are doing something, actively doing something to make sure, to aid our man Daniel to be able to pull it off. He will. He will pull it off.
You don't look old, Don.
Listen.
What's the secret?
Secret, good heart, being kind to people, and don't do any bad thing. Don't intoxicate anything, substances. Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I caught up with you. You were the first person I interviewed on IFL.
Do you know what? I said to you earlier on, get off the camera, that I'm so proud of you because I was the first person you interviewed when you first got the job with IFL, and you told me I said, well, young man, just be yourself and look at you today, I am genuinely very, very proud of you. Keep it up.
Thank you, that means a lot, Don.
And any young man or girl who's out there watching yourselves, Umar, it's hard work and dedication. No matter what we're doing this as a job, you put the hours in, you're dedicated, and hence why you're successful. And long may it continue.
Thank you, I appreciate that very much, Don. It's very kind of you to say. Listen, let's get back to London. Press conference on Thursday in London.
Correct.
And then, you're back to business, 7 weeks to go. And then I'll see you back in Poland, God willing, and the new.
And the new. Let's go, champ.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking shut up.